Hello book friends, it's Allie, and I am going to talk about my May TBR today. To begin with, I have 4 children's literature books that I'm going to read. I will do one of those a week, and then at the end of the month I'm going to just do a review of those 4 books and just cover those. And then I have other books and other genres, and so let's dive right into it. The first book I have is Gypsy Rizka by Lloyd Alexander. This book follows a little girl who is a gypsy in a town, and as far as I understand, she's just trying to survive in this town with people who are wanting to help her and then some people who are wanting to oppose her. So this is her story. It's really short. It's not even 200 pages long, so should be able to knock that out fairly quickly. The next book is Time Cat by Lloyd Alexander. This follows a talking cat who can travel through time and some crazy adventures that he goes on. I don't know much past that. The synopsis on the back is really short, so I have had this book for ages and I've been meaning to read it, but I just hadn't picked it up yet, so I'm really excited to get into this one. Next will be Surviving the Applewhites, which this was a Newbery Honor book. It's by Stephanie S. Tolan, and from what I understand, it's like this family who takes in children and they're all trying to get along or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't really want to get too much info because it's really short, so I just kind of wanted to go into this with a very small understanding of it, but it looks like it's going to be really good. I'm excited for it. The next book will be The Magic Misfits by Neil Patrick Harris. Neil Patrick Harris is one of my favorite actors, and when I heard he had written a book, I was really excited. This is going to be a 4-book series. Right now there are 3 books out, and this is the first in the series. This is about like a group of children who do magic, like, you know, hocus pocus, abracadabra kind of magic. So it's something to do with like a puzzle and something about survival, so like this sounds really awesome and I'm super pumped about checking it out. And continuing on with my Scott Pilgrim books, I will be reading Scott Pilgrim number 5, which is Scott Pilgrim versus the Universe. And I'm so far removed from having read these books that I'm really excited to continue the story. I really enjoy these books. Like, they're just really quick, fun reads that just kind of suck you into this world and you just really enjoy them. Alright. The next book I started last month, but I'm going to finish it well, technically I started it this month. I'm planning on finishing it in May, and that's Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. This book is fantastic. I'm really loving it, but it's just one of those books that you really need a lot of focus to read because it's high fantasy. There are a lot of details, and I just sometimes can't read until my children go to bed, so when those days happen, I pick this up at bedtime and read, so I'm getting kind of slow progress. So I plan on finishing this in May for sure, and I'm very excited to see how it ends. It's really good. A lot of excitement happening here. I mean, really. Alright, next I'm going to do a classic. I try to do one classic a month, and this month I chose Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. I love Robert Louis Stevenson. I read Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and I thought it was so good, and I've read this in the past. I read it for a children's literature class I took, and I also read it whenever I was a child, but I don't really remember it. I have very foggy memories of it. I know that it follows a child who like meets this pirate, and he ends up going on a crazy adventure for treasure, and it's just supposed to be a really great swashbuckling adventure story. And plus this copy that I have is like super old. My grandma got this for me whenever I was a child, so I love this particular copy. I will be reading a different copy because I don't want to hurt this one, but I did want to show this one. Okay, the next book will be Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I started this in April, and I'm going to finish it in May. I knew that when I started it, I wasn't going to have enough time to finish it this month, so it's going to carry over, and I'm okay with that. But I'm really looking forward to getting into the series completely and finishing it because it's been on my shelf to finish for so long. And these books, I know a lot of people know about them, but again, I try really hard not to look up synopsises of books too frequently because I really like to be surprised by books. So I know it's something to do with like a heist of some sort and like a group of ragtag type people, maybe. We'll see. The next book is my Book of the Month book that I got last month, which was The Library of Legends. I haven't started this one yet. I know I've already talked about this one and given a synopsis of it, so I'm not going to do it again. The next one is also from Book of the Month, which was Bringing Down the Duke by Evie Dunmore. I've already done a synopsis of this one as well. If you haven't seen that, it was in my book haul video. I talked about my Book of the Month books that I got. So if you want to check that out, I will leave a description in the box below. I'm sorry. If you want to check that out, I will leave a link in the description box below, so you can go look at that. And I will be reading this one. Plus, I will have another Book of the Month book coming next month. It will be in a few weeks, so when I get it, I will probably read one of those books as well this month. Another book that I plan on reading that I don't actually own is City of Ash by Cassandra Clare. I'm doing it as a buddy read with one of my good friends. I'm excited to read that second one. I really enjoyed the first one. And so this will be my first encounter with the rest of the series since I read the first one ages ago. Another book I will be reading is Gail Carringer's Etiquette and Espionage, or Espionage and Etiquette. It is the first book of the Finishing School series. I read a prequel to that this last month, and I also read another short story by her. I really like her writing style. It's very whimsical and it's fantastical, and there's supposed to be like supernatural beasts or characters. I'm not really sure, but it sounds super awesome. It's about a girl who gets sent to this finishing school, but this finishing school actually teaches them how to be spies, and they are going after supernatural creatures from what I understand. So I'm excited to check that out. I think that one will be a library book that I will be checking out on the Libby app. So I'm sure that that book's going to be really fun, and I can't wait to read that one. This concludes my TBR for the month of May. I keep wanting to say April. The month of May. It doesn't feel like we should already be in May. Like this month, or this year, is just like, where's it going? You know what I mean? I know it seems like I have a lot of books on my TBR because I never read that many books, but I always like to have a lot of books. That way I have like options, so I'm not like hindering myself. I get to have a few to choose from, and then if mood strikes me, I'll read something else, and it's all very loose, but it works for me. So we will see how much I can get read. I love to have goals that might not be easily obtainable, but if I reach it, then I feel really proud of myself. So we'll see how it goes this month. If you have your TBR made for this month, drop me a comment down below and let me know what you're reading. I would love to chat about it. See you guys next time.